Well, so today's discussion topic, as you people have already seen in your screen, classification of market. Right. Today we'll discuss this topic, classification. As you all understand, that classification is categorization in certain group. Right. That is the meaning of classification. And the simple meaning is that categorization in certain groups. So here we need to understand the market in that perspective, whether there is a category has been made, so what the category is there and how we can classify the market here, right? So one by one we will discuss. So first we need to understand the meaning of market, as you people are very much familiar with this concept of market, right? And every day we all have to go to the certain place that is called market. So what the basic process or the basic things that one should realize while going to the market? So it is a certain kind of place. Nowadays it is also a virtual place, right? But initially it is a geographically bounded places, isn't it? So there is certain area which is known as the market, but now it is virtual also. So what the basic process that has been done in the market? So in the market both buyer and seller has to come, right? And then they have to finalize the transaction. Transaction means what? Transaction means exchange of goods and services, right? When the exchange will takes place, then that is called transaction. So we need to understand the market in that perspective. So you can look at the market is a place where buyers and sellers are physically present and finalize the transaction, right? So it is a place. So as I told you, the basic definition is place, but place also nowadays represents a virtual place. We can say that we have a virtual platform also there, we have a physical platform also there, where buyers are physically present, but in the virtual platform obviously they are virtually present, and purpose is for this transaction. Transaction means exchange of goods and services has to be taken place. So that area or that place is called market, right? So where this word come from? So this word is come from this mercatus, this Latin word. From there this market has come into the place, and meaning of mercatus is trade, merchandise, or a place where business is transacted. So this is the meaning of this place, mercatus, and from the mercatus the term market is come into the picture, right? So if you take the common perspective as a layman, so what the common perspective of market is? It is a place where goods are bought and sold, isn't it? This is the common perspective of market that one should understand. Now we go for this some definitions, some technical definitions that we need to understand one by one. Pyle and Chapman, two definitions. So what is both place and region in which buyers and sellers are in a free competition with one another. Free competition, right? It means there is no bar, anyone can enter, anyone can exit, right? Free competition. I will discuss later on what the competition and everything, but just a small introduction. Competition means anyone can enter into the market, anyone can exit into the market as per his or her own will, right? So it's a place or region in which buyer and seller. So here the common thing is still buyer and seller will be there. This is the definition. So another definition given by the Chapman is not a place but to a commodity or commodities and buyer and sellers, right? So here Pyle is only concentrated for this place, but Chapman has included commodity or commodities with buyer and seller, right, are in a direct competition with one another. Is it clear? This is the only difference between both the definition that one need to understand here. Pyle defined market as a place, but where Chapman decide market as a commodity of commodities and buyer and sellers who are in direct competition with one another. So the only difference between both the definition, right? So up to this point I hope the term market is clear to all of you. Right. So now here what the feature? It means if you have seen any place and then you are calling that place as a market, so what the basic feature, what the characteristic that place should have? On the basis of that we can say that a certain place is market or not. So these are the certain features: place, transactions, buyer and seller, one commodity, and area of operation. So here one need to understand there. It is first a place. Place means you can say that some geographical location, that is place. But now it is virtual also, isn't it? So we should understand this on this perspective also there. So place nowadays may be in virtual, but if you go for this traditional, so the traditional meaning place is any geographical area or the area which has certain boundary, that is place. So if there is this kind of place, then transaction has to be taken place. Transaction means buyer and seller has to come, and then they have to exchange goods and services there, right? Then we must have this buyer and seller. Obviously that place should have buyer and seller. It means act of buying and selling of goods has to be there, and the purpose for this is to satisfy human wants, right? Then one commodity means that market should have at least one commodity for trading. At least one commodity, that was it is written over there, at least one commodity is required, right? That has to be traded in certain place, then that place is known as market. So at least one commodity should be there. Is it okay? Then area of operation, right? So it is also called the area of operation for commercial demand for commodities. It means where you can do all the necessary functional activities which is related with the commercial demand for commodities. So if you see this kind of feature at any places, so you can call that place as a market itself, right? Have you understand all this feature? Is there any point that you are unable to understand? Now we need to know the need of market, why we need the market, right? That is another important thing that you need to understand. So obviously for exchange of goods and services, that we all understand that, right? And this is another important thing for adjustment of demand and supply by price mechanism. Obviously by price, these things one need to understand there. Despite the demand and supply that has been already discussed with all of you, we have a demand for certain goods. It means the quantity that has been desired, that has been wants, then the accordingly supply. But the question is that what should be the price, right? At what price the supply has to be channelized, or at what price the demand of certain goods will be there. So in the market, this kind of adjustment that has to be seen there, and you people already witness those things. You are going to the market, then you are demanding something, then you see what the supply is there, and then price negotiation has to be taken place. And when both buyer and seller are agreed on certain price, then transaction has to be there. If there is no agreement, there is no transaction. So when the agreement has to be there, it means at certain price, so price discovery has been there. Okay, this is the price where most of the buyer are interested to buy certain goods there, right? So that's the adjustment of demand and supply by price mechanism, right? And on that basis, the demand has to be understood, and on the basis of that, supply has to be channelized there. Then improvement of the quality of life of the society. Obviously for the improvement of the quality of life of the society, you are talking the quality. Quality means you can say that your degree of happiness, isn't it? Your comfort. So market is a place where you can get several kind of commodities which is providing you certain happiness, which is providing certain level of comfort, right? Then for the introduction of new modes of life, obviously some new product also can be displayed there, right? Properly promotion can be there, proper advertisement can be displayed there related to the new product. So that is new modes of life. It means different products related to the betterment of life or to improve the quality of life, that has to be displayed there in the market itself, and for higher production. Obviously as you look at the demand and supply, so if the new thing come into the picture, then it has to be properly promoted. So obviously demand will be there. So when people are supposed to visit the marketplace, then accordingly demand has to be generated, and on the basis of demand, supply has to be maintained, and for that higher production will be there for certain commodities. right? So because of all these things, we need a market there. Now it is clear the need of market. Well, so after understanding the basics of market, now we come to the classification of market. So as I told you, classification means categorization in certain groups. So now we need to understand that. So there are 10 different type of marketing system. It means 10 group has been made to classify the market, and that you and all group has their different approaches in various ways. So 10 different types of classification we need to understand. So what the 10 type is there? So these are the classification: number of commodity, on the basis of area of the coverage, location, time spent, volume of business, nature of transaction, degree of competition, government intervention regulation, nature of commodities, and visibility or vision. So these are the categorization of market. On the basis of that categorization, classification has been made there. So one by one we'll try to understand. So first, on the basis of commodities or the number of commodities. So for the basis of number of commodities, there is two markets: general market and specialized market. So generally in the general market, what the feature that you will be able to witness here, all type of commodities are sold, right? It means what kind of commodities? So from grain to textile, anything that you required for your daily needs or your or to fulfill your wants or needs, that you are able to get there. General market, it means all type of commodities you are able to see or you are able to get there, right? Then a specialized market, obviously this specialized market deals with a specific commodity, right? And also the market has been named based on that commodity. As you people have seen, vegetable market, जिसको in Hindi it is called sabji mandi, where only vegetables has to be sold there. As in the Dehradun, you people can see the Niranjanpur sabji mandi, where only you are able to get the vegetables, right? And apart from that, there are different kind of market that you are also able to get there, where that market has run for just for a specific commodity, right? So that is a specialized market. It deals with a specific commodities. The only difference between general and specialized market: general, all type of commodities are sold, it means from grain to textile. In a specialized, it deals with a specific commodity, right? You can get some jewelry market, where most of the shop is related to the jewelry, isn't it? You also get some market which is related to the cloth only. Fine, you people already visited those places. So this is the general market and the other is the specialized market. Concept is clear here? Right. So now we need to understand the another classification, that is area covered, right? On the basis of area covered. So this is the basis of area covered. There is four type of market that you can witness: local market, regional, national, and international market, right? So local market means what? Village, in the village market you people can see, or any primary market, or you can say the local market means that the market is limited to some group of villages, right? Or the market which is nearby or close to each other, or your own area, the small market that is available nearby your own area, that is called local market, right? And here you can find commodities like vegetable or the fruits. Generally the perishable commodities you are able to find in local market, like milk, fruit, perishable item. Generally it means the those commodities which is not which cannot store for long time, that is the perishable item that has to be there. And apart from that, local market, sometimes some fair has been also there on certain cultural if there is certain kind of traditional practice, or you can say that, or some special days are there, so certain local fairs is also there, so that fair is also come into the local market. Is it clear? That is the local market. Now regional markets, obviously it is larger than the local market, obviously, and it can cover, you can say that, some districts, right? Maybe 4, 5, 6 district. So that is regional market, and obviously these regional markets basically work on certain notified commodities, right? Government has already decided which kind of commodity has to be sold in that particular regional market, and then this is the regular, they are regular in conducting business transaction in basically in the some notified commodities, right? So it is bigger than the local market, as I told you, and it can cover the maybe 4, 5, 6 district of certain area. Then you have a national market, right? It means the market is going to cover the entire country, right? Or you can say that this kind of market, which is basically deal with those commodities which are having demand over entire country, like you can say that the tea market or textile market, or some other similar commodities you can quote here. That is national market. Then international, it means those commodities which you are able to sold in all around the world, right? Here you have to extend your operation over the entire globe, right? So that is international market, and generally the commodities, you people are already aware that gold, silver, diamond, then some technological tools. So these are the certain commodities that is very much related to the international or world markets. On the basis of area, this is the classification. So have you understand up to this point? Is there any question? Now classification on the basis of location. Now we have to classify the market on the basis of location here. So we have village market, primary wholesale market, secondary wholesale market, terminal market, and seaboard market. So first we need to know the village market. It means the operation is limited to the small village or the group of villages, right? And it may be regular, it may be occasional. It means it is not necessary in the village market that every day there is a market has to be there. Maybe occasional within 2 or 3 days in a week. So this kind of arrangement you will find in village market. And most of the transaction that has been there only among these villages, maybe one village, maybe two villages, 2 or 3 villages, or the group of village you can say here. Then you have a primary wholesale market. So this kind of market that has been located in big towns, or you can say that city headquarter, right, or the city center, you can say that. So if you find certain market there, that is primary wholesale. As since the wholesale is given there, wholesale means, so generally all type of agricultural commodities of the village are pooled here, right? That is wholesale. And here there is no retail business has to be taken place. It means the transaction will be between producer and trader. Listen carefully, producer and trader. That things that you are going to witness in primary wholesale market, right? And then you have a secondary wholesale market. So obviously this market also located in district headquarters, and that is basically dealing with the agricultural commodities. Most of the agricultural commodities has been traded here, or you can say that has to be dealt here in secondary wholesale market. And who is the participant there in the secondary wholesale market? Wholesaler and village traders are the main participant. Is it clear? Wholesaler and village traders, they are supposed to participate in secondary wholesale market. And apart from that, you will also find certain intermediaries. Intermediary means some commission agent, you will get that, some broker, or some weighman, it means to weight all these goods are there. So there are certain intermediaries also play their role in secondary wholesale market, right? Then we have a terminal market. So this terminal market is located in big cities, or you can say that a state capital or nearby the seaport also, right? And this terminal market is controlled and regulated by the government, and it is also called as an organized market. And here you can witness the modern method of marketing operation, right? Modern method of marketing operation that you are able to see there. And what kind of basic activity has to be taken place in terminal markets? Processing and storage activity. These activities dominate has a domination in terminal market, processing and storage, right? And here you can find almost all category of consumers. You get consumers, you will also find wholesaler, you also get marketing agent in this place, right? And obviously I told you it is situated in some big cities. It may be Bangalore, Bengaluru, now you can say that. It may be Kolkata, it may be Delhi, it may be Chennai. So this is the specification of terminal market. Now the seaboard market, right? So this market is basically for export and import of commodities. Is it clear? Export and import of commodities. This seaboard market has to be there. And what kind of transaction will take place? So basically the scientifically standardized and graded commodity has to be transacted here in the seaboard market. Listen carefully again. Scientifically standardized and graded commodities are transacted in seaboard market. And where this seaboard market you will get Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Visakhapatnam, where the big port we have. Maybe some other places nowadays it can takes place, right? So these are the classification, the basis of location. So is there any question from this classification from anyone? So now we are moving to the another classification that is based on the time span, and on the basis of time span there is short period market, there is long period market, there is secular market. So now you can understand easily short period market that has been for a day or maybe some few hours, you can say that. And what the feature that you will see here the supply of commodity is fixed, or you can say that supply is zero elastic. It means whatever be the price is running on there, still the supply is fixed in the short period market, right? And total price variation is based on the demand for the commodity in a particular period. It may be day, it may be certain hours, you can say that is short period market. So generally you people have already witness the short period market that in your own local area, that within a week there is some weekly market, right? It may be, we call it the Monday market, Sunday market or you can call it Wednesday market. So accordingly this market has to be there, and that is for the day or for few hours. And the basic characteristic here is supply of commodity is fixed, whatever be the price is there. It means there is no response in the supply with respect to the price, that is supply is zero elastic, right? As you have seen in your market, the vegetable market that has been open in the morning for 4 or 5 hours, then it is over. So this is for the brief period in a day. Then you have a long period market, right? It means here the durable commodity has to be traded, because durable means which can be stored or which can be stored, and the transaction will be takes place maybe later or some other duration, right? And So that is long period market, you can say that. And if you talk about the long period market, so here the price for the product has been regulated and governed by supply and demand in the long period market. As you have seen that food grade market, if you go for the food grade, जिसको बोलते हैं अर्थ बाजार, perhaps your wholesale market is there where the things have been stored, and then and similar market that you can witness there, that is long period market. Then you have a secular market. So secular market is the permanent market, you can call it permanent market, and since it's a permanent, so obviously well organized market you will see there. And what the basic characteristic that you can witness in secular market, that you will find manufactured goods, you will also get machinery goods there, and you also find certain facility of go down and processing of the goods. And apart from that, this secular market also deals with export and import transaction, right? So that is secular market, and this is based upon the time span. So short period, it means brief period in a day. Long period, it means there the durable product has to be by the secular market is the permanent market here. Now on the basis of volume of business, so we have volume, wholesale and retail market. So first wholesale market. Wholesale market means where the large quantities are brought and sold, isn't it? That is wholesale market, and generally you will find here in the wholesale market producer and trader, right? And in the retail market, obviously here you can say that the transaction of a small quantity has to be taken place, or as per the requirement of the consumer, the transaction has to be taken place, right? That is retail market. And in the retail market, who are the participants? So you will also get here producer, you also get retailer and consumer. You are able to see in this market even the producer, but nowadays even the retailer also you are able to see in the wholesale market. But the basic feature in wholesale market is only producer and traders. But nowadays you can see that this wholesale market also started selling on the retail basis to the individual consumer also there, right? So on the volume of business, this is wholesale and retail market. Then on the nature of transaction, right? So one is cash market, one is forward market. So try to understand properly. So cash market, as the name suggests, right, there is a cash transaction. It means if you have to buy and sell any goods and services, the cash has to be paid or the payment has to be there immediately. That is cash market, right? And now you need to understand properly this forward market. It is also called future market, right? This forward market is also known as future market. It means in this type of market, future sales and purchase of commodity takes place at current price. Listen carefully and try to understand. Here the future sales and purchase of commodities takes place at the current time. That is forward market or the future market. I hope you people have already seen this stock market. Have you heard the stock market? NSE, BSE. So in the NSE, BSE there is one market that is called the future market. It means you have to buy the future sales that has to be taken. Let me give you a very simple example if you are unable to understand there. Suppose you have to buy a car. How the transaction will take place? You have to pay the booking amount today and you will get the car maybe after 2 or 3 months, isn't it? It means it is future sales and purchase has to be takes place at current time. You are not getting the things immediately, you are getting the things in future, and that has to be traded now. Have you get the concept here? That is forward market. So listen carefully again. In this market, future sales and purchases of commodity has to be there at current time. Is it clear? Up to this point the concept is clear to all of you. So after this basis of nature of transaction, we will move to the another classification. So the next classification we should move ahead, right? Okay, so I think today there is lots of technical problem and everything, so I like to conclude the session here itself, right? And in the next session I'll start from this from the nature of competition, right?